It's Cymone on the microphone. On the microphone. It's Cymone. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm on Cymone. Cymone on the ones and twos today. The ones and the twos, baby. And we're here. And listen, the energy forecast is this. Now, listen, I don't know if it's stars or satellite, if the planets is little paper construction, and if the sun is a light show. But one thing both show is what's up in the energies. There's a lot of self-reflecting out there today. Oh man, it's heavy. It's heavy like the heat. Woo! It's heavy. It's heavy as we cooking in this kitchen right here tonight. We cooking in this kitchen tonight, okay? Period. But yeah, be careful of the self-reflectors. As long as you know like who you are when you look in the mirror. Let's get to the story time today. Now, the name of the chat is Cymone on the ones and twos. Cymone on the I don't know what is a shit. Hold on. I got y'all. Cymone on the track. That's what I put. No pun. And then out the closet on the shelf. So let's talk about it for a second. All right. So, I'm in my personal vehicle, like how I do, and going to do my oil change. You know what I'm saying? My regular maintenance on my outside bodies, my outside movements, my extension of myself, my vehicle, my personal vehicle. So, you know, I pull up. I don't say where I pull up, but you know where you want that cheap professional oil change. That's where I went. And right there, I need to stop right there, right? Because that now, as I reflect, as I take it out the closet and place it on the shelf where I could see it, the golden trophy. I could see it now. It's not like all hidden in the closet. Now I could see it. Now I see it. It needs to be shined. Oh, it's a little dusty. It's a little dusty. And you know how when you first take something shiny and golden out the closet, you go, it's like all this dust forming, and it's like maybe it's a little foggy. So then after you do that, seeing after you dust it off and the fog dissipate, you're gonna make sure and give it a spit shine. Haktua. You know what I'm saying? And go on here and really shine up your shit and make sure you making sense at all times and everything is conflating so you get the proper stimulation of the atmospiration. Okay, let's go. Now let's get to the story though. So I'm at the I'm at the low budget spot. I'm at the low hanging fruit shopping center. You feel me? With the oil change, getting the oil change done or whatever. And so I meet Shorty. Shorty work on vehicles or whatever. But I ain't even that's how I'm always looking at it. Like it ain't no extras for me. Cause, you know, once you once a man is anything or too much like me, it's a wrap. Like, it's like my thoughts already like I actually get excited because then I'll be like, okay, we can be like this is like maybe a suitable business partner. Like we see the same ideals, but no. And that's what I really want to touch on today is like misogyny and it being linked to homosexuality and how I think just based off my experience, that's a real thing. And if you have like a similar experience or like maybe an alternative experience like that, like stand up. Cause I realize demons have to obey. Demons have to obey. And I know all the characteristics of a demon. So no matter how a demon presents itself, I know my place. I know my part, and I know a demon must obey, regardless of where the thought is. You must obey. So, moving on with the story. So, fast forward from this is where I like met the mechanic, and he's like a good mechanic, right? So everything cool and all, and it's like for the first time I'm feeling like this my tribe right here, like because I was able to work out a deal. I don't want to go too much in details, but this person was willing to like barter and work with me, and so I thought that was good. And so then it's all tying in because you can't base something like one characteristic on everything, right? So the homosexual like girlies, gonna call them the girlies, right? So the girlies want the best of both worlds too. So I hear a lot of like talk on the matter of fact, they're gonna be the girls, okay? And the girlies, maybe the girlies should just be you see, now I don't want to confuse y'all. Now let's keep it at that. They the girlies, and the reals is like the girls, right? Okay, they like the real girls, okay. So it's like a lot of talk and speculation on how like the girls want the best of it. It's like they want a traditional man, but they want to be like the sugar baby fancy escort esque type stuff going on too. But it's the same thing going on for the men. And that's why I always thought like I was like, yeah, nature will always just balance itself out. Nature will always balance itself out. So you'll have men who want the best of both worlds. They more attracted to men, but they still want the feminine benefits from a woman. And vice versa. So that's like a real thing. And not only that, it's like both parties are still in their post-mortem mental state. So it's like a lot of manly, a lot of it's another word I want to use, but I'll just use characteristics. Another like manly characteristic and trait, or like mental trait to me, or mental fixation, is to be like, I'm the man. So basically, like what I say goes. And that's cool if we in nature, but we've all like, we're paying for water. You see what I mean? I don't know how long anybody's been doing anything, but I just know that I never wanted to pay for water. And there's a lot of things that in the last like 18 years that any generation 18 years ago, like it's like by the time you get 18 and 21, it's this whole like world formulated that you have no agreements on. It's like even if we vote now, the most the it's almost not fair because the people who are gonna really be affected by whatever votes or whatever decisions that we make will be like for the next generation. So then it's like by the time they get 21, 25, or whenever they can like figure it out, it's a big old mess. You see, so like back to my story. So everything's cool, right? We do the barter thing. And my breaks are done. He got his service. It was cool. And but then upon like dropping him off, like, cause I a little earlier was just like some more like side reflection, cause I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, it did start like starting point. I was in the low hanging fruit shopping center, like looking for a deal, like right. You feel me? Now I was trying to be like all possibilities and not be like that though, right? Hey, so yeah, this is tricky because it's like, should I make that like a proven point or should I just take my new steps moving forward? But anyway, so on the way, I don't even remember what the disagreement was, but it was like a lot of hand movement, like in my face and like close to my face. And then there was some like finger to my forehead and like some grabbing of the arm. So I was like, okay, you know what? In this moment, I think I understand what's happening. I think like, yeah, it's like so many men that must be onto something. My Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer nose is stimulated. Um, it must be so many men like not raised with like dads that they're really taking like the talking points from this podcast and just the attitude of the man or whatever traits a dominant man in this present society we live in would like fall under doing. And I think that's all men have to grab onto. So like that's the characteristic of the man is the psyche that like I run it and women are only this and women are only that. And I think it's just really important because I used to didn't feel that way. Because I mean, I still feel like, however you want to live your life. But it is kind of really important as a society as a whole of like everyone just accepting who they really are. And it's really sad to find people like, I don't say confused. Well, maybe I'm confused. Maybe it's like level up, right? Because like now I have to look at it's like not as simple and cut dry, right? It's like men and women aren't living by this pre-upped template. Now it's like I don't know if I like men or women. I don't know if I like, it's just like, well, yeah, women, I'm a man and like I don't look at women that way. I'm more drawn to men. I like having intellectual conversations with men. Or I feel that that's the only way. So there's always this disconnect. There'll always be this master slave type relationship amongst genders. And then when we put those genders in public places that are deemed to be fair and just, it's murky. And back to the misogyny. So for a while, I wasn't really sure if I agreed. Well, first I initially agreed. I was like, yeah, I could definitely see where misogyny comes from homosexuality. And the less praise you give a female, it's like the more gay you are. But then it's like it's like almost this inverted balance to where now like if I overdo it though, like if I overpraise a female, you're kind of like those traits tend to come out too. And this is just like my personal experience, I'm sharing. If anybody in the chat like wanna like defer or like add to no, I'm like okay. Um like cause I know it's always like okay. Cause I gotta be in the algorithm. So like the computer is like okay, cool. All right. We rolling? All right, rolling. All right, cool. So yeah, cause the the misogyny was happening because like prior this individual was expressing like concern for it, they mother and they sister. So to me I was already seeing like some bad karma like played out just based off some previous behavior before me, because okay, it's already stuff happening. So, and then why is there need to be so protective of like people that don't have situations, right? So right, okay. So but then like you try to violate me after like I'll like complete my task, because a lot of people like I could have just rolled off, like you know what I'm saying. Like it was, I could have just, but I finished. So because I like finished the agreement, it was like this, oh, I want to dominate this thing. And it's like, that's not how you do it. It was it for me. And it was funny, like the arrogance. So it made me like come on here because I'm like, is it that many females that do those things and get through those things? Because by the end of it, he was all like, "Oh, I apologize," and da da da. And it's like, nah, that's it. It's over with, pal. And I'm not even gonna play like get away from you. Like, nah, like, bro, it's already, if you touch me again, then that's like enough warning. Then now I'm gonna get physical. But see, men do these things. Men are like, do the hand thing in your face and do this to you in hopes that you'll retaliate back so they can have a justification to do even more. So that's a very homosexual trait, like men antagonizing females. So this is across the board. Like, I don't care if you at a job, if you got like a boss and you like, dang, like this dude like always riding. He's homosexual, baby. 9 times out of 10, or fighting his homosexual urges. Like, he a person fighting his homo. A lot of men who like fight their homosexual urges too. I notice lash out a lot of aggression towards females, and you'll see a lot of them do it in a public arena too. That's like a theme. So I'm like, dang, I got to share this. I got to get on the mic and share this with my peeps. So like, I'm on the track, and like, you know, I'm away unscathed, of course, but I learned a lot though. I learned like how to do my back brakes, and I'm doing my front brakes, and it just feel really good, like doing my own car. Like when I was in the military, I really enjoyed the work I was doing. I did not enjoy the misogyny that was there and that was protected within that organization. So yeah, it's very unfortunate to have to work your job, because that's how I always looked at the military, as a job, right? Just a job that I was working 24/7 for my country. And it's sad that that organization has so much networking and power and structure within it, um, socially, but that it's infested with misogyny. That organization and all its other third party extended entities, and that's really sad. But I don't know. Somehow that seems to spread on into society, because even those that serve who don't agree with that method of caring about, you know, um, they become carriers of that mental mentality. They become carriers of being dominated, like having a mental mind of like a slave man. I don't even say slave mentality, but like a dominated, not domain. What is the? It's like dormant, like a dormant type of mind frame when it comes to consent and touching, and what's normalized, because there's so many people that have been predispositioned and programmed to accept that behavior, and also to instill that behavior in others. So, um, especially since the pandemic, where a lot of outside religious beliefs were integrated into one area of land, where like a strong sense of a previous belief was already present, and that can always cause social collisions that are uncomfortable. So yeah, we just trying to keep this coochie safe though, and yeah, like those are some things that I named off today. Some little characteristic traits to be careful for. I wouldn't say like judge anybody based off those, but definitely like take them as some eye openers to take extensive looks on things and never drop your guard out there. And the barter system forever, you know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying? Because you know your girl got them skills. Period. Ah.